Good morning, everyone. Tandem LED is a long time in the making, years to get to the point where we're at today. Very exciting technology. There's nothing else like it in the industry, and we hope that you see the value of it as we make this presentation and how it can elevate you as a designer, being able to add to your projects and your profitability. And also serve a need that your customer has and one that you can deliver on. So we're very excited to get it presented to you today. So as we stated before, Tandem LED is an exciting new technology. It's one that was really born out of a need that was expressed by designers across the country. Now, a lot of you may be new to LED lighting. Some of you may be veterans, so to speak, in the sense that you've been using it for a while now in your projects. And no doubt you've come across challenges along the way. One of the biggest challenges that designers had come up across was that of selecting Kelvin temperature. So that really brings us to what Tandem LED is. So color temperature of lighting is the correlated color temperature. So it's the difference between a very white light or a very warm colored light. And so what we're going to be doing is using the term tunable white lighting to be able to help you differentiate against the dimming. So tuning is not the same as dimming. There's a change between color temperature when you're tuning and a change between brightness when you're dimming the lights. But we've prepared a nice little video for you in order for you to be able to fully understand what Tandem LED is. And we're going to go ahead and cue that video for you now. So please sit back and watch.
Task Lighting is proud to introduce our Tandem LED series lighting, a revolution in home lighting designed to maximize control and minimize complexity. Tandem LED is a game-changing new form of multi-white tunable lighting that will change the way you and your customer view kitchen lighting. You are likely familiar with dimmable lighting, in which the brightness of the light can be controlled. Our tunable lighting is dimmable, but it also allows for a personalized lighting experience, in which your customer can tune from warm to cool light and back with the push of a button, or even with their voice. Now your customer can match any kitchen they desire. Instead of asking your customer what Kelvin temperature they want for their lighting, or approving the selection you have made for the Kelvin temperature, that decision can now wait until after the new kitchen and lighting are fully installed. Do away with any fears that your customer might not like the temperature of the lighting installed in their new kitchen. Kelvin temperature can be set anytime and easily changed anytime. Just as in nature, your customer's lighting can be set to daylight white in the daytime and warm white in the evening to naturally attune their circadian rhythm to alertness during the day and to preparation for sleep at night. But what about installation? It's simple. Tandem LED series lighting conforms to the industry standard 2-wire system, and pairing to the wireless remote is done with the press of a button. The remote packs a variety of control options into a small package, and thanks to our built-in dimming functionality, your customer has complete control of the brightness at any temperature. Tandem LED series lighting has a smart home ready option straight out of the box. When using a Task Lighting WAV wireless receiver, your customers can control their lighting with wireless remote, phone app, or even their voice.
Alexa, good night.
This system is easily detectable by Alexa Hub devices or a Philips Hue bridge and mesh seamlessly into existing systems rather than forcing you to download yet another app. For detailed installation instruction videos, visit our Task Lighting Tandem LED video page. If you'd like to place an order or learn more about Tandem LED series lighting, contact your local rep or call Design Services. Thanks for watching.
So as you can see from the video, Tandem LED is quite different from traditional white LED lighting. So in the past, LED lighting was just single color, unless you went to a color changing system, which was a lot more complicated. When it came to single color light, a lot of that light was low quality. And we have a graphic here up on the screen if you look at the top. LED lighting actually started out at a very low CRI, or that color rendering index. That's the way that your eye sees light and color. And as things progressed, the quality got better. We were able to get up to an 80 CRI in the industry, and that was considered good. And people were very impressed with that. But it still was lacking, and you'd still have customers complaining about the light changing the paint color or the stain color or their countertops, whatever selections they made, the light was altering the color of those items. So they weren't rendering true to life. With Tandem LED, we were able to increase that CRI up to 90 or higher throughout the entire Kelvin temperature range, or that white color range. So you're no longer stuck with a single color light. So your customer can now have any color temperature that they want. That brings us here to our next slide. So Tandem LED not only gives you full control over the color temperature, as the video highlighted, but it also gives you full control over the lighting itself. So if you want to utilize smart home control, or if you want to utilize the circadian rhythm that it touched on to be able to change the color temperature throughout the day, all of those things are possible with this new product. And there is no other product on the market that gives you this level of control over your white lighting with just 2 wires. So very unique in that aspect. And we're going to touch on these points along the way throughout this presentation. So when it comes to some of the things that make Tandem LED better, number one is that it's a 2-wire design. So 2 wires is an industry standard. That's all single color lighting is operating off of 2 wires at low voltage. And our system is patent pending 2 wires to be able to give you that same full level of color control that other systems give you with 3 wires. The other thing is other systems are limited to warm to dim. That means as you change from one color temperature to another, it looks like you're dimming the lights and changing the color at the same time. And with the Tandem LED product, you can do both of those functions, dim and tune the lighting, without looking like you're changing the brightness of the light. The lighting is also brighter. With 88 LEDs per foot, or 8 LEDs per cut section of 1 1/8 inches, it's the most LEDs per foot in the industry of lighting. So that gives you nice, bright, even lighting compared to other brands, which are going to have between 14 and 36 LEDs per foot. So you can see that we've really upped the game there. As a result, as we mentioned, gives you even brightness and color. And the color rendering is at 92 to 95 in the space. And that's a big deal because a lot of LED tape, as you look at it, and different lighting will give you a color rendering index, or that CRI number, but it's not measured in a space. It's measured in a lab. And our independent tests have shown that the color rendering in the space is a true 92 or higher CRI. So that's a really big deal. It also gives you the ability to formulate your lights to the circadian rhythm. It's compatible through Amazon Alexa, Philips Hue, and being able to set your lights to change color temperature throughout the day to be able to form itself to that circadian rhythm so that your body is in sync with the outside lighting, just like the sun changes from warm to cool and back to warm throughout the day. It's compact size, so it's only 8 millimeters wide. You can see the picture there kind of gives you the size relation to a dime for our actual tape light. Obviously, the puck lights are round, and then the other items that we have coming in future launches with ceiling lights will also be very unique and have the same technology built into it. So as a salesperson, as a designer, a lot of your customers you'll know are just visual people. They have to see it. Sometimes you can explain away, but they just can't visualize it. So what we've done is we've created an online 3D visualizer. This space allows you to, in real time, show your customer the difference in a space that color temperature can make. And it also has a very realistic look to it. Let's go ahead. We made a little video to show you how this works. We're going to give you a quick demonstration of how this tool works and how you can use it with your customers. First of all, the instructional page gives you the directions that you need for turning your lights on and off, for changing the color temperature, for switching between views, and for dimming the lights. You can just use the mouse on your laptop. We're going to go ahead and hit Start Exploring. As you open, you'll notice that you're facing this terrace. You can use your cursor and your mouse to spin yourself around. Let's go ahead and go to the living room. So you'll see the yellow button here, lights up, and now we're in our living room space. So we are just closer to that. We can go closer to the office, we can go closer to the kitchen if we want, and by selecting any of these light bulbs that you see here, you can turn the lights on in a space. Now the ceiling lights are on, but they're dimmed down very low. So let's go ahead and increase the brightness. You can do that by clicking your mouse or by pressing and holding your right mouse button. Now you'll notice that the kitchen lights are set all the way to a warmer color temperature. We're going to go ahead and change those now over to a cooler temperature. We can also dim the lights down in the kitchen. Now for a more dramatic effect, we can go ahead and turn the ceiling lights off. And you'll notice here, now let's go ahead and increase the brightness on the under cabinet lights. And we can change the color temperature to a warmer or cooler color. It makes for a really nice dramatic effect. You turn on the lights for the office. And you'll notice that the bookcase lights and the living room lights are both on at the same setting, color temperature wise. So what we're going to do now is we can show you the difference if we change the cool temperature on these bookcase lights to closer to a 4,000 to 5,000 Kelvin temperature versus the warmer color in the office. That's a great comparison for your customer to be able to see. And then if they wanted to see what they would look like together, you can change that color temperature as well. Then you can also show them how you can set a mood in a space by dimming the lights down in either of these two areas. And it really makes for a really nice effect and a great sales tool to help them visualize how changing the light color temperature in a space can have a really dramatic effect, even from a dim to bright and then from warm to cool. So a really great sales tool. It's an online tool, so it's not something that you have to be even at your computer to use. You can demonstrate it on your phone or tablet on a job site. You can send them the link so that they can play around with it, and then you'll be able to help drive home the point of why the lighting is so important. So you can see it's a really beautiful. So hopefully you can see the benefits of that visualizer. That's a link that you can send your customers to so that they can then interact live in that space to be able to see how the lighting will change in their own space. And that's something that's nice that as you go through that design process with a customer and they're excited about having their kitchen remodeled or whatever other space you're doing for them, and they want to share that with their friends, with their family on social media, if you send them a link like that that they can utilize to be able to kind of pass the time while they're waiting for their cabinets to arrive, things like that. And it also drives business to you because it shows that you're on the cutting edge of design. And that space, that 3D visualizer, was created just for you as designers. You can also utilize that space with a VR headset. So by placing a VR headset on, you're actually in that space. So there is no other distractions around you. So if you have a smaller showroom or maybe a conference room, you can actually put them in that space and really enhance the square footage of your showroom through that visualizer. So it's nice. But it also helps in the sense that you don't ever have to worry as a designer about the color selection of the lighting. We know that customers, they go back and forth about the colors that they want to pick in their space. And lighting no longer is one of those worries because you can change the color temperature in the moment as you wish. We're going to go ahead and play another video for you here showing that.
TandemLED really just started out as a concept. Designers would pick a color, try to put it into the space, but it wasn't the correct white color that they were expecting or anticipating due to a lot of different factors that came into play within that design. TandemLED takes 2 wires from a standard single color LED, and it allows the user to use our TandemLED technology in order to color tune the lights, meaning they can select any white color that they want and they can adjust that color in the moment, in the space, to exactly what they want. And then they can change that by setting scenes because of the smart technology that we use as well. So how simple really is it? When you unpackage it, you can literally plug in the smart driver. You can take your lighting, measure it to the length you want. With a pair of scissors, you can cut it. It comes with a quick connector that just goes on with a small screwdriver, and you literally can just say, Alexa, find my device, and you're now connected. When it comes to professionally installed lighting, customers will spend thousands of dollars to have an electrician putting in outlets, wiring in switches. The TandemLED product allows you to utilize any outlet that you have. For example, over a microwave or behind a refrigerator, just like in the space behind me. The lighting installs in usually under an hour for a basic installation, or maybe just about 3 hours for a full installation, including under cabinet lighting, in cabinet lighting, and perhaps some floating shelf lights. The nice thing is, it doesn't cost a lot of money because you don't need an electrician to put in any custom placed outlets. You can utilize the outlets that you already have.
So no doubt you can see as a designer the benefits that you have now in being able to transform your customer space. And you can see in the background, like as the videos are playing and the images that are posted up, how dramatic lighting really affects the space. And then in turn, how drastically the color temperature of that lighting can change that space. So the selection of color lighting and being able to change it throughout the day is really important. But there's something that makes TandemLED even better than any other product on the market today. And that is the ability to use our patent pending technology with WAV, which is a wireless app and voice control. With WAV, you have complete control over the lighting, and your customer can control the lights how they want to. So you're going to have customers that vary in their technical abilities and in how much they really want to put into that space. So for example, if they just want to switch, like you'll see here on the first image on this slide, they can just use a regular wireless control that gives them full functionality and control over their TandemLED lighting. They can change color temperature, brightness, they can have memory settings to their favorite color temperatures and things like that. But the nice thing is if you're using the WAV all-in-one power supply or the WAV smart receiver, they have smart home built into them. So of course they work with the wireless remote, but they also work with a phone app from anywhere in the world. You're not limited to just local control, like some of the Bluetooth systems that are out there. And you can also use voice control, which I'll tell you what, I have the system installed in my kitchen and a few other areas in my home. And being able to just walk in and say good morning, and the lights come on to a specified setting, or to say good night, and the lights go off or dim down to a nightlight setting, whatever you prefer, that's really nice. You don't even need a switch or a phone app or anything. So Another really nice feature. But watch this video clip that just discusses the smart control just a little bit further.
WAV technology. WAV stands for Wireless App and Voice. It's meant to give you versatile control. So you can utilize the wireless RF remotes that we offer, and that gives you the ability to change the light color, to change the temperature, to change the brightness, even set memory settings without the need for internet, without the need for any type of hub. You need nothing but just the remote and the TandemLED WAV receiver with the lighting kit. Another nice feature with the WAV technology is the RF remotes fit into any Decora style cover plate, and they're wireless, so it doesn't require any electrical wiring. This means if you have a smooth spot on your drywall, you can actually make it look like you've installed switches there without ever cutting a hole in the drywall itself.
Hey Cole, we gotta put the phone down. It's time for schoolwork. Alexa, time for homework.
Okay.
Good job.
The nice thing is the receivers have the technology built into them. So if a user decides to upgrade their system and add the connected home experience, it's already built in. So if you connected an Alexa speaker, for example, it can find that device, and then you can control the lights wirelessly through your phone from anywhere in the world, or with your voice while you're there in the space.
So, WAV's pretty cool, isn't it? Being able to give you as a designer the ability to customize the lighting for your customer, and then for your customer to be able to use the apps that they already have. You'll notice that you'll see on screen here that you can use it with Alexa, with Apple HomeKit, SmartThings. It works with Philips Hue, all of the popular brands. There is no proprietary app that we've developed to download. Instead, we've allowed our software to integrate directly in with all of the other platforms out there that support Zigbee, which is the future of smart home control. That being the case, that gives you an edge over competitors that use Bluetooth or proprietary apps that now the customer is relying on them to control their lighting. What if one of those apps goes down or is discontinued? Will they now be able to control their lights in the future? The other nice thing is because Zigbee Alliance is a secure system, it allows you to be able to completely contain your lighting control. So you can password protect your phone, you've got your internet password at home, which makes it a very secure system, meaning that our app is not something that you would have to have. You can just use the apps that you're already used to using that you know can be trusted and are secure. So it gives you your own level of comfort being able to select which one you want. Additionally, with this system, we're going to have, I believe, initially 11 products launching, and that would include the different colors or finishes of the puck lights. But you're going to have puck lights. You'll have the tape light, which can be cut to size every 1 1/8 of an inch. You'll have the RF remote that gives you the ability for local control. You'll have a receiver, and you'll have an all-in-one smart power supply. They both function the same. One just has the power supply built in. The other one you can run multiple receivers off of one power supply, helping you to reduce project cost. Another nice feature is if you look here in the bottom image, we've got an inline receiver. This gives you simple control, so you don't have to have an RF remote. You don't have to have Wi-Fi or internet. You just connect that to your power supply and to your TandemLED lights, and now you can have a preset color temperature and a preset brightness that you can just use a regular wall switch on the wall, or you can use the optional WAV sensor that plugs into it to turn that preset light on and off and mount that to, let's say, the bottom of a cabinet somewhere. So a lot of innovative products that give you full versatility. The other nice thing is in the puck light design itself, it may be hard to see in this image, but there's an input and an output port on this puck light. So 2 ways to connect the wiring to this light. Being able to mitigate the need for wire control. You're not going to need to, wire containment. you don't have to worry about having excess wire pulled up somewhere and trying to hide it or wire nut it together. You can, just like the tape light, cut and connect it to the exact size that you want. Let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits. Reduced complication. So when a customer spends so much time picking out what is to them their perfect kitchen, you as a designer can feel confident knowing that if they select tandem LED lighting and put it into that space, they can have the exact lighting that they want. So it gives you one solution for every single project. The power supply and receiver are combined into one SKU, so it saves on installation time and components needed. The wireless controller can be eliminated, as we mentioned. So if the end customer has a compatible smart home hub, they could just use the smart all-in-one power supply and or receiver, and there will be no need for any switch of any kind. They can just control it with their voice or with an app that they already have. Fewer selling challenges. So if you're the owner of a showroom, or perhaps even one of the designers that are in that showroom, and you're 100% into offering LED lighting, but maybe not everybody is on board with it yet. This really simplifies it to help those that are a little bit scared perhaps or confused about lighting to be able to feel comfortable selling it, because now they don't have to worry about color temperature, they don't have to worry about connectivity and things like that. Salespeople only need to confirm if the customer wants lighting or not. They don't have to ask if they want color temperature in a certain color or things like that, or if is it smart home compatible, is it not? It has everything built in. And then also, don't forget, we have our full design service team. They are there as a free courtesy service to you as designers to take that weight off your shoulders. Consider them like having an assistant in lighting, somebody that's there to be able to help you figure out what you need and what the cost of it will be for each individual project. The other thing is the benefits that it gives you in the sense of value and profitability. Now, we're doing a comparison here to our new product versus a new smart home product that's Bluetooth. So it's smart in the sense in the Hayfella product that it's able to be used locally by Bluetooth. Whereas Tandem LED does not require a special app like Hayfella has their own proprietary app. It gives you a huge amount of control at a very low price point. So to do 16 feet of lighting of Tandem LED as a dealer cost, you're going to be looking at somewhere around $252. That gives you 16 feet of lighting. It gives you the all-in-one smart power supply. It gives you 12 connectors if you get the kit. You get 6 for free, 50 feet of connection wire, and then the wireless dimmer. And we have them broken down there by price and then the kit cost. In the reports that we've received, that can be up to a 79% savings over any competing smart home product that's out there. So it gives you a low price point entry for your customer, giving them something really amazing at low cost, which is just really hard to find these days for a high quality product. Additionally, Tandem LED benefits the installer, and that's something that always is a question that comes up: how easy is it to install? And it's actually really simple. It utilizes the same exact installation methods as our current single color lighting, just a few different components, but the components are relatively similar. The other nice thing is that it doesn't require an electrician. It is a plug-and-play system. It utilizes industry standard 2-wire, even though you still get the tunability with that. And it's something that installers that do LED lighting are already familiar with that 2-wire concept. Another benefit is that it's IP65. It has a waterproof coating on it, but it's a micro waterproof coating, meaning that it's not this big, thick rubber coating like all of the competitors have on their product to make it waterproof. So it can be used anywhere without any complications that come with those thick coatings. Additionally, it's UL listed, not just ETL, which means that you're not going to run into issues when it comes to having your job sites inspected, which is also really nice. And then you can see that it's very simple to connect. So TandemLED is the future of LED lighting. This patent-pending technology is not just something that is fluff. It's truly a serious designer-based product, one that you can count on and rely on, one that is also going to fulfill the needs of your customers. So really, we want you to take part in elevating your design and in your spaces with lighting to be able to wow your customers. And we hope that we can be along with you for that ride, to see those images as you complete those projects. And for you, obviously, to see the smile on your customer's face and to get that repeat business. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have questions because we can't cover, obviously, everything in a short amount of time. But we're going to go ahead and open this up to question and answer. And as these questions pop up, I'll answer them. I'm sorry if there's a little bit of a lag in the internet speed at any point here. So there's a question here. Can a motion sensor be used to turn it on and off? And the answer is yes, we do have a motion sensor. So once you set your lights to a specific brightness and color temperature, if you use one of our motion sensors, it'll just turn the lights on and off to that setting. So let's see, we have another question here. What is the website link for the lighting demo? We will supply that to you in an email following this webinar that will be able to give you that link to the 3D visualizer. So there's a question here on how secure is it. I'm sure that that question is relating to the internet based side of the lighting control. So obviously, because the system works with the smart home provider that a customer already has, whether it be Alexa, Google, Apple, it will be as secure as those systems are. So is it available with the angled power strips with the lights yet? So the angled power strip with the lighting built into it, if you choose the external power supply option, then the lighting inside that power strip could be controlled with the TandemLED product. I will have to double check when we will be integrating TandemLED into lighted power strip, however, as it's not part of the launch that we're doing today. So lumen output is going to vary a little bit depending on between warm white and cool white, but it's going to be pretty marginal. But you're going to be roughly around 350 lumens per foot. So here's a question. It says, the WAV technology is really cool. If you have under cabinet lighting and toe kick lighting in the same room and wanted different light tuning in those areas, how is that done? So that's actually really simple and a great question. So if you use a receiver or the smart all-in-one power supply, it doesn't matter which one you use, they can be controlled individually. So if you hit the Vimo channel when you go, when you get your email link sent to you, you'll notice that in some of the videos on there, you'll see that the color temperatures in the kitchen are changed from like warm white or cool white, because each of those are set up as zones, and each individual zone is controlled by its own receiver or power supply, and therefore you can change the color temperature from one to the other, which is really nice. So if you've got, like in that kitchen in our demo, the wall cabinets had a white background inside of them. That was the countertop, the quartz countertop going up behind them. And the pantry cabinets had a dark gray painted interior. You can color tune the lights so that they look the same, even though they might not be the same color temperature, to achieve the look that you want in that space. And then there's a question if this is compatible with Simpria. And we will have a Simpria version of the Tandem LED product that will be launching soon. Interior design studio with a retail showroom. Do you sell directly to us or only to electricians? So if you have a showroom, of course, we absolutely sell directly to you and would be happy to set you up as a dealer to sell the product directly to your customer. So that obviously you'll pocket that profit. That's the whole goal here. So the Kelvin temperature range of the tape lighting is going to be between 2700 Kelvin to 5000 Kelvin, and 1% increments anywhere in between those two numbers. So you're not limited to one particular color temperature or four or whatever. It's literally limitless. So yes, Jim Keller or Brett from Jim Keller Kitchen and Bath asks, what about different zones? So just like the Quattro system operates today, where you can zone and learn, it's the same exact setup with the wireless remote. And if you're using the smart home control, each individual receiver is controlled separately through whatever app that you're using, so that you can control each of those individually and custom name them also. So you can name it bookshelf light, or you can name it in cabinet light or under cabinet light. So very versatile that way. How many feet and or pucks can run So the all-in-one power supply is going to be running at 60 watts. So the tape light is running roughly around 3 watts per foot, and each individual puck light is at 3 watts. So you can do the math that way. If you have a larger installation, the nice thing is you can use the receivers, which max out at 120 watts, and then you can group them together. So it's pretty much limitless, the number of feet that you can run, because you can zone them together, meaning that you can expand it and still use one voice command, one app command, or one remote control command to be able to turn off a huge section of lights. Can we get a copy of the webinar to show your designers? Yes, this webinar will be made available to you so that if any missed it, you can go ahead then and present that to them. So, question, you show recessed can lighting in your video. Will recessed can lights be available in the near future, and how are they connected? So we are currently working on a very unique ceiling light option that will be available to you in the near future, hopefully here. And it will be connected just like this current system is, where you can utilize it with any smart home system as well as with the wireless controls. So is it possible to hardwire tandem LED? So here's what's a really unique part about the all-in-one power supply. The all-in-one power supply, when you get it, comes with a power cable that can plug directly into an outlet. But it's also designed, if you were to remove that power cable, you can have Romex direct wire into it. So yes, you can hardwire it. Another question, how far does the light strip need to be away from a heat source? So, of course, you'll want to check the specs. So when you say a heat source, you could be talking about maybe the heat coming off of a stove, maybe if you're boiling a pot of water, something like that. Then the tape light's going to be completely fine with that. It has the micro waterproof coating also, so any moisture would not want to be damaging that, so you'll be just fine there. So let's see. In the sample price package, you had 16 feet for one power supply. Do you need another power supply for the next 16 feet? So if you're using the kit with the all-in-one power supply, the kit is designed to use that power supply with 16 feet of lighting. If you have a project that has more than 16 feet and you still want to utilize one power supply, you can use the a la carte method of ordering, and order a separate power supply with the receiver, which goes up to 120 watts. And then that allows you now to get more linear feet of lighting out of one power supply. And of course, our design team can help you with your layout on that. So let's see, another question here. Can we upgrade an existing LED system to the tandem LED? And the answer is yes, and you can do that actually in two ways. If you've installed single color lighting in a project and your customer just wants to make that lighting smart home controlled, you can sell them just the receiver. And that receiver will now give them smart home control over single color lighting, no tunability. If you want to utilize a current wiring that's in a project and upgrade it to tandem LED, then you would just replace the tape lighting and then insert the receiver and or the all-in-one power supply to be able to then upgrade that to the tandem LED tunable white lighting. So are the internet providers of your product required to maintain a minimum selling price? So if you're an online retailer, yes, we have a MAP pricing that all online retailers are required to uphold so that it keeps the playing field even for everyone. So here's a good question. Do you see the future of color temperature soon or eventually providing even warmer colors, lower numbers such as 2400, getting even closer to incandescent as an option? So our current tandem LED product is between 2700 and 5000, which is industry standard for what most people want. We do have the ability, though, to produce any color temperature range with this product and technology. So if there's certain needs that customers have and we get enough requests for it and we need to have a 2000 to 3000 then or 5000, then we can do that. But keeping in mind that color, temperature, and quality of light are always at the forefront. So we would never sacrifice a warmer Kelvin temperature and reduce the quality of the product to do that for the CRI, or color rendering index. So life expectancy. So on average, you're going to be getting, based on an hour rating, of 30 to 50,000 hours. So roughly around 10 to 20 years if you're using the lighting pretty much every single day. So would this come with a complete kit like the other kits you have? Yes, so we do have a complete kit, and then we also have the items available individually to build out a system that is more customized to larger installation projects. So where are the components made? So we have components made in Asia, and we also have our cut to size program, which is based out of Kearney, Nebraska, where you can have the system customized and sized directly for each individual job. So it comes out predetermined links that you specify with the connectors and or wire pre-connected to that tape light and prepared for you. Can it be used outside under a covered porch? So the nice thing is with the tape light itself is it's IP65 rated. So you'll notice in that simulator we had that terrace or deck. So yes, the tape light itself can be used outside. It can get rained on. You're not going to have any issues with it there. The only thing is you want to make sure that your power supply is someplace where it's not being hit by the elements. So inside of a dry box or enclosure, someplace hidden that way. So another question here, will this lighting be available in the task lighted power strips? We did answer that earlier, and we will send that out to you in an email. How strong is the adhesive holding power on the tape light? Many manufacturers products don't stick to cabinets, and that's actually an awesome question because that's something that we've addressed. So our product uses 3M's 300SL adhesive, and we provide in the kit the 3M adhesion promoter wipe. And that promoter wipe is designed as a two-part system. You use that in conjunction, obviously, with the adhesive on the back of the tape for a permanent bond to any surface that you apply it to. So can the light also change colors like a color wheel? So for RGB lighting, or like the red, green, blue lighting that you can change to multiple different colors, we also do have a receiver for that. It's our RGB receiver that is also smart home controllable, and that does the color changing lights with static white included in that, meaning that you can get around a 5,000 Kelvin temperature white out of that tape as well. So it says here, I understand tape light does not produce enough lumens. Your presentation now throws that concept. How much light output do you spec or have? If you looked at the video, you'll see that the lighting in that kitchen was very bright. The tape light that we have is incredibly bright. It's enough without any other lights on in that space to light that space up. And if you look at some of the close-up videos, you'll see where they're doing some countertop cutting like the apple and things like that. That was just the tape lighting that space. In fact, the video crew that came in to shoot that video went and took all of their lighting equipment and put it back in their truck. They were so impressed with the light output on the actual tape light itself. Puck lights are also very bright. And it's roughly around 350 lumens per foot. Of course, that's going to change slightly based on color temperature. Thoughts about using TandemLED as a primary or only source of lighting in a room or tiny house? And yes, absolutely, that is a possibility. We've had builders, I know locally here in the North Carolina area, projects I've been on where they've put the tape light around a tray ceiling, and that was the only light source in that entire room, and it looked absolutely phenomenal. Warranty on the product. So warranty is going to vary depending on which product, but you're going to be between 3 and 5 year on your warranty. What information do you need if we want to have a copy of this presentation to share with another designer in my company? So you can actually just use the recorded version of this webinar, and you can just request that. Actually, you can request it right here in the inbox. So there's a question, can you show what this looks like? I'm not sure if you could expand on that a little bit on what looks like what. Do you have covers for the tape? So all of our aluminum profiles will work with the TandemLED product. So yes, we do have them with clear and frosted lenses. So the problem that we've run into isn't the SMD strips, it's the driver who makes the converter. So the products that are TandemLED products are all designed by Task Lighting, and we control all of the manufacturing of those items. So we are using all of the highest quality components, knowing that this system is going to be in use for a very long time within a space. So there's a question here. The transformer stays on all of the time and you don't have to wire a switch to the outlet to turn on the main power. So the power supply has a standby power. So when you turn it off, it goes into standby mode, and then when you hit the wireless remote, it turns back on and is now using energy. In standby mode, it's drawing virtually no power whatsoever. When you say permanent installation with glue in 20 years, does that create a challenge? So the adhesive that's on the back of the tape lighting is actually the same adhesive that's used like on the emblem of a car. that holds the brand name on. So if that gives you any indication of the longevity, hopefully that answers your question there. So yes, again, there is aluminum channels. So if you're looking to eliminate the LED dots in the countertop, but also go back to what we talked about earlier. Remember that there's 88 LEDs per foot. So the LEDs are so tight together that you don't get that individual dot effect. It looks more like a beam of light if you have a very highly reflective surface. If the power supply can be hardwired, will the power supply need to be mounted in a sealed box? And can you put up a picture of the power supply? So let's see if I can go back up to... So no, the answer is no, the power supply does not need to be in a sealed box. Let me pull this picture up here. So the power supply itself has a screw-on cover. So if you look here, it's the bottom left picture. So you just undo the screws, and there's teeth inside of here. So when you insert your Romex connection is back here into 2 screw terminals, and then the cover plate goes on and secures the wire. So no, you do not need the power supply is its own box or its own enclosure. So somebody else is asking, if I understand your system correctly, if we do toe kick lighting and want a different lumen than the under cabinet lighting, we need a different driver. And yes, that is correct. If you're looking to reduce the brightness from toe kick lighting to under cabinet lighting, those two would need to be controlled separately. They can be the same color temperature if you want, or different. But if you want to change the brightness from one to the other, you would use just a separate receiver for that. And we do have some installation videos on the power supply. So if you want to see that hardwired, you can go ahead and just go on to the YouTube channel or the Vimeo channel and be able to see that. How long does the battery last in the control? That's going to depend on how much you're using it, but typically you're going to get about 5 years out of a battery, maybe a little bit longer if you're just using it once a day to turn them on and once a day to turn them off. In a showroom environment, of course, that you might only get like 3 to 5 years if you're doing demonstrations with it all the time each day. So let's see. So we know what tape looks like. You say it comes with, well, it doesn't come with a cover. We have covers available, aluminum profiles, and those are in the catalog. And perhaps we could go ahead and send out a link to our catalog with the email blast that we're going to send out after this webinar so that you can see what all of those look like. All of these class 2 drivers are low voltage. Are they UL certified? And the answer is yes, they are class 2. And yes, they are UL certified products. So you won't have to worry about any inspector issues and things like that. And every component is UL listed, by the way. Is it available now? Absolutely, it is available now. We would not be doing this launch otherwise. And yes, you can get the product to plug in and show to your customer in their home as opposed to a video if you would like to do that. So a question here, when you glue it on, how difficult to remove when time to remove the fixture? Okay, so at the end of its life, which is going to be a long time, it's not going to be that it's going to be difficult to remove in the sense that it won't come off and you're going to have to try to use like a scraper. What's going to happen is you're going to pull really hard to get it off, and then it's going to probably leave some of the adhesive residue behind that you would have to use like a cleaner or maybe a Goo Gone or something or some sandpaper to get off of that space. So it's going to be fairly permanent on there. So that looks like, so let's see if there's any other questions here. So whoever is the designer of this product should be congratulated on its amazing technology. So I really appreciate that. You know, I've worked hard on this product with engineers and the lighting team here at Task Lighting. And really, it's a shout out to years of hard work and probably 20 to 30 people working on it to be able to get it to what it is today. And we really appreciate that shout out to us. And we will send a presentation, and you'll all get a copy of that. So the question is the ceiling light going to be just bulbs or full fixtures? It's going to be a full fixture. We're not going to disclose too much information about it now because it is a very, as unique as TandemLED is, the ceiling light is going to be equally as unique. You're going to definitely be wowed by this fixture. It's like nothing else that the industry has ever seen before, and we've spent a lot of time working on it. Is there a discount for displays? Yes, we do have a display discount program, and the sales rep, we could have them visit you, demo the product, and set you up with a display for your showroom, which is obviously the best way to show your customers. And again, thanks all of you who, like Teresa here, for the shout out on this webinar being awesome. We put a lot of hard work into it. We're never sure how it's going to come off. But this truly is a unique product. So the product is really what hopefully is what's making this shine. So we thank you all very much. It's been about an hour of your time. We know that you're all busy. We hope that you're staying safe with the COVID-19 pandemic. We appreciate your business, and we always would love to have pictures of your products so we can give shout outs to you on social media. And we look forward to seeing you on our next webinar, where we'll be discussing some of the installation questions that you're going to more than likely have with TandemLED. Have a great day.